Hi, how are you? Today is the 29th December 2022. I would like to speak with you about what could be an interpretation, what could be what we can think and decide and choose for making an interpretation. There is no really rules. There is a lot of importance is on your taste, on your experience. How many music did you listen to? How many good performers did you listen to? And how much you absorbed this good performance, this good music, and then you put your experience in what you are doing. These pieces are the most easy pieces that I never written or wrote, I don't know. And so because they are very easy, it's more easy to make an interpretation, because we are not involved in making very high note, very difficult note, very fast note. The first mountains, there is a rhythm that is ever the same, tum 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 tum, and there is some sentence. Each sentence is long, 8 notes. This is important for the interpretation. This regularity in making the breath, each note is an important part of the interpretation. But there is a problem. How can we do the short and the long note? What is the relationship? The short, it related with the long after. This is the more common interpretation. Or the short is related at the long before. That's implied that the first it's a long. I'm sorry. The second one is very elegant. It's typical from some French music, some Baroque music, but I think it's a little abstract for this easy and simple song. So I suggest you that we put the short note related with the long after. And then there is another things to consider, another difference. Sometimes the short notes are near the long one, like E, F, D, C, and sometimes it's wide, like C, F, G, E. And we can make a small difference. But I think also this is a possibility, but it's a little abstract. So I suggest you to play with a good breath, each 8th note, with a good sound, with a sweet tonguing, not because this piece doesn't need this, like a people that is singing something. I'm using a tenor because the tenor make less noise the soprano, descant, and so the balance between speech and music are more correct. The piece number 2, looking from my window, we have 4/8 and 2/4. Of course, when we say 4/8, there is not 4 notes, but there is 5 notes, because the 4/8 go to the 5th one. Pam 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 pam. The first 5 notes are the same. Normally when we have similar note we make staccato, but not the last one, because the last one is longer. And then because the 2/8 are related, so one interpretation could be for the first small sentence. But now the problem is the 4/8 that are before, that are after, are not the same as fragment of scale of a melody. And it is unusual in the Baroque music that we make. This is more for the classical music from Mozart, Haydn, Beethoven. So for the second sentence we have 2 possibilities: to change or to maintain the staccato. I make the first 2 sentences with changing. Or both are correct, are possible. There is these two possibilities. There is another one, that the first sentence is influenced by the second. If we make the second sentence not staccato, we can make the third sentence not staccato. It's unusual but possible. This is different possibilities. We will think, but if all its possibility, there is no mistake. Yeah, there is mistake. There is mistake when you did do something that you have not decided to do. So you don't know what you are doing, and this is a mistake. We change too much. You change too much. You change. The first bar is different of the second. This is different of the third. This is different of the fourth. And this is, in music, is not a good idea, because the music is a very symmetrical and structured with a lot of repetition. Think about the 5th of Beethoven. I think it's the 5th. It's repeated this thema 1,000 times. If after it was not a symphony, it was something without sense. So first, in music we have a lot of repetition. And second, if we make an interpretation regular, with some regularity, with some repetition, we understand better the music, the sense of the music. So I suggest you to play between these 2 differences, the staccato and the portato. I think it's not necessary to make legature. Interesting, at the second part of bar 8 there is F, but not 4F. It's not F, G, F sharp. is F, F, E, F, G, and E, F, G is melodical. Of course, we can do. And now, 1, 2, 3. In this piece, the performance is written. Normally, I don't like to decide what the performer has to do, but in this case, the staccato and the portato, sostenuto, I don't know, some normal note, long note, is so important that I brought it. So, we have just to follow. Of course, you can decide how much staccato. This is a question of taste, of your ability, and which instrument you are playing. If I were a, and then we don't know what or who, there is a lot of possibilities. There is some note repeated. Or so what is important is that you decide something and then that you follow your decision. And in a piece so short, so simple, it's not a good idea to change a lot of interpretation. You decide how do you do the repeated note, how do you do the fragment of melody, E, F, G, how do you do the fragment of harmony. You can also make it without staccato, or without staccato but separating the pair of notes. This is typical for the Baroque style. You have a lot of possibility, but first we have to know what is the different possibility and not to play the first time in a way and then remain ever in this way. It's better to change the interpretation, to try different solution and then to decide. So you have to know about 10 different ways of making the same pieces, so you can decide and you can make an interpretation that it's yours. In Cuckoo there is something written, the staccato and the not staccato. So there is not a lot to do because it's written. Barbara. Here we have 3 notes. The rhythm is very. There is 3 notes until bar 40, circa. You can make the 3 notes really separated each other. Or you can make the first 2 notes staccato and the second long. Or you can make very normal. It's important that you take your breath after 8 bars, and if it's too much for you, after 4 bars, 4/4 or 8/8. Note that in bar 9 there is a repetition, so you can make the same, you can make an echo, so the first time and the repetition. This is not really staccato, but it's with small separation. Or you have to know what is the graduation of staccato, portato, or you can make legato the first three. It's difficult for technical reason. When I was young, very young, the sentence is 2 bar. In my opinion, the best solution is to make a good sound, the note together, portato. Do, 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 do. There is no reason for making like valser. I think the first 3 notes are melodical, but this is just a choice. You can make this or something different. After, for example, bar 14, 17. What is bar 17? Bar 17 is a variation of bar 1. Bar 1 was... And here we have... It could be important for you to know what you are doing. I am playing a variation of bar 1. This doesn't imply that you have to do this or this is free. But if you know what you are doing, probably you will find your way of playing. On tiptoe, it's written what we have to do. So just we have to decide how strong is our staccato. Or this is your decision. Another decision that which you can be involved with, if you have to make the first note of the bar a little longer. Or identical. And the same problem is for the last one. We make the last one a little longer. Or this is your decision. A rainy day, it's interesting about what we have to do with the A on bar 3. The A is the start, the beginning of something, or it is the end of something. Both possibilities are of sense, but I think it's more probable that the A is the end of the first sentence. Really playing the piece, it's more probably that the A is the beginning. So music has this wonderful ambiguity. Two things opposite could be correct, both. If you have a long breath, you can make the first 5, 6, 8 bar in one breath. And with the tenor, I have arrived until here. There is what is sure that probably in this piece there is no staccato. All is like a singer. It's the same of Nostalgia. There is this repetition of this pair of notes, ED. I'm using legato, tu, 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 tu. It's the difference if you think that the beginning of the bar is on the first note, tu, 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 or on the third, tu, 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 as is written, or in the fifth, tu, 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 tu. The second is the correct one, but it's not easy in your interpretation to clarify at the listener that the beat is upon the note number 3. Ta-ra, ta-ra, ta. Probably you have to do this third note a little longer. But you can also just think this and make it not special for underline this situation. Step by step, the shape. The listener will find the shape. Marching band, the problem in this piece is to make the rhythm each time with the same length. So not sometime tu-tum, and sometime tum. No, when you choose how do you do the first 3 notes, all it's fixed. And this is not easy. You can make the first note short, or the first note can touch the second. This is your choice. On my bike, it's something similar but written in another way. On the piece number 2, there is 4 notes fast and 2 notes slower. But in this case there is no repetition, so surely we will not do. But not surely, it's a possibility. But I think it's not necessary. A, B, C, B, A are melodical notes, and A, E are harmonical notes, so there is some distance. So what we can do is to put together 5 notes and to make the 6th separated from the 5 and from the 8, the 7. But we can also make an accent upon the note number 5 with a small separation between 4 and 5. Or we can make pair of 16ths. This is a quality of music. There is a lot of possibility. But what is important, that what you decide for the beginning remain after. The barcarola has the same problem of the number 1, the mountains. The short note is related at the long after or at the long before. Or it's more usual the first. Dee-dee, 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 dee-dee. Without legatura, I think, because if you make a legatura, you make a strong accent about a note in a very not strong position, the E, the D, the C, and second, you don't make clear the starting of the bar. What is sure that in this piece is very calm, is like a gondolier on the Laguna. So if you have seen the gondoliers, what they are making, it's very, very calm. The repetition of this moving of the arm, of the hand. I propose this. What is difficult, for example, in bar 1, 2, 3, 4, when there is a lower E and higher E, not to make a strong separation. For technical reason, this is not easy. So the sentence and each 2 bars, ta 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 ra ra, ta 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 ra ra, ta 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 ta. This is the regularity. An echo dialogue is very easy because the dialogue is between the higher octave and the lower one. What is very, very important, and what you are doing on the top note, you have to do on the low note. So if you make, the repetition has to be. I'm not telling you that you have to do this variation of interpretation, but what I'm telling you is very important. It's exactly how you play the first sentence, the higher one. In the same exact way, you have to play the low sentence, the echo, because the echo, when I say in front of a mountain, Aldo, the echo answer Aldo, not Roberto. So this is, and if I make Aldo, the echo is Aldo. The echo is the same. Butterfly, there is written some legatura, but there is a lot of way, the flight of butterfly, to making legatura. You can make in a strong way, with a strong separation, or without this strong separation. This is the same note and both was legate. We have also to decide the speed. Or this is your test. Drums in the night, the problem is to try to make an imitation of drums with the flute. This is not the record, it's not easy. Etc. The ride, pam 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 param pam 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 param pam. What's important is, for example, this FE has been played in the same way in which in the bar after, in the same position, you play DC. There is a lot of possibility, but probably we will play in a different way when the notes are the same and when the notes are different. The problem is in bar 9, there is many solutions, but one sure is this. With separation like two voices. Pa bim bim pa pa bim bim pa pa bim bim pa pa, or pair. It depends of the speed, it depends of the instrument that you are playing. Remember Me, this is a very sad music related to the end of Dido and Aenea from Parcel. Remember me, the sentence is made by 4 notes with the word remember me. So you have to try to make it in a very pathetic way. I'm sorry, I played wrong the first note. 1, 2, 3. What is important is to cut in your brain, in your head, or in the music with breathing each 4 notes, because it's remember me, 4 syllables, 4 notes. Jumping here and there It's very easy. It's written. You have just to decide how much you have to make this staccato. Or a pupil asked me how long I have to do this rest, but there is no length of this rest. This rest doesn't exist. What is sure is the position of these three notes. Pam, pim, pam. And these notes are short. Tock, tick, tock, tock. How long is the silence after this short note? It's not, we can't calculate how long is the silence. What we can do is to know when and where you have to do the second note. Do, ta, to, ta, ta, to. But the silence are not long. Ciacona. There is many possibility. Portato. Sorry. Or the first two notes together and the third alone. Or three notes together. Or the first alone and the second and the third together. And this variety of possibilities is for each variation. For example, the second variation with the eighths or there is not a question how is correct, how is wrong. What do you prefer? What do you are able to do correctly without changing? Because in the context of 4 bar of each variation, you have to be very consequent, very follow your decision. For example, bar 9 could be a good interpretation, and bar 13 for example, and bar 17 in bar 21 we have many things. We have FD, AA, BA, so 3 things. After there is something similar at the beginning, you can make or is the same from da 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 da. Trumpet tune, the problem is we have to imitate a trumpet. We have to think that you are playing a trumpet. The trumpet normally doesn't play. Because the trumpet makes signal, military signal or something. So it's clear, it's with separation, with the staccato, not too dry. lament. The word lament told you what you have to do. I think that a separation make the lament more lament. Like something that is crying, that cannot pronounce its word normally, but with separation. But you can also play without this. The legature help to make a lamento. 4 birds on a branch could be an imitation of bird. But you can imitate a bird not only making legato C and B, but in the different way B and C. Or staccato. There is a lot of possibility. It's important that you decide how to do the first 6 notes and the piece after go following your decision. And it's important that you have in your palette, like a painter, a lot of colors. So, to play the piece without idea, without choose, is the wrong way. You can play without interpretation just for studying with a metronome, but after you have to take a decision. Legato, staccato, portato, molto staccato. You have to take your decision. And the first, the 24 farewell, what is sure is the first note is long and the second short. So, probably the best interpretation is that the first note touch the second. You can make also legato. How long is the second? It depends. It could be pathetic when it is very short. But also with it is a little longer. I think it were wrong to make with the separation between the first and the second. Okay, don't worry if you see, but there is a lot of possibility. I would like to receive one and to follow one possibility. No, in the interpretation to tell this is the correct interpretation, the other all as wrong, is not a good idea. You have to improve your capacity of speech, of tell what the music is telling to us. And so you need this different color, this different possibility, and you need to try this and this and this, and then to decide. Okay, I hope this has been useful. Bye bye.